So we're here, we're here in RGA Buckingham with one of the owners, Daniel Lewis, and one of his athletes, Hayley Carter. We've done this once before already, but we had sound issues. So if it seems like we're in gi a second ago and now we're in no gi, this is doing it in takes. So Dan, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in jiu-jitsu, how long you've been training, and your lineage.
I've been training nearly just over 17 years now. I first started doing MMA under Neil McLeod, and that's in fact like my actual jiu-jitsu instructor was the first session. He ran the first session because Neil was away, so it's Kev Capel. So I met Kev, my jiu-jitsu instructor, through Neil. I did MMA for a few years, fought a bit, but I got to a certain age where like getting hit in the head wasn't good for my health overall. So I decided to not get hit in the head for a while, and that's when I also started doing jiu-jitsu with Kev. I kind of fell in love with it because it was a sport or a martial art that I could do like every day rather than like once a week, and when striking and stuff like that, you don't want to do that too much. I trained with Kev for many years, got my black belt, and I've been competing, teaching. I taught a bit at blue belt, and that's when I kind of started my love for teaching, or found my love for teaching. I kind of did a little bit up until maybe brown belt, where I kind of went full time. I quit my job. I started teaching in Aylesbury full time with Kev for the adults program, and Ian, who's the other owner of RGA Buckingham with me, and we were doing the kids class and adult classes, and as I say, I got my black belt, and I'm actually 8 years into being a black belt now, and I probably am the most comfortable and confident I am in my jiu-jitsu now than I've ever been. So when people at blue belt and purple belt ask me, when do you feel like that, it's quite a while. So yeah, that's my kind of lineage and kind of how I started. It's a very short version of it, but that's it.
And you opened your own gym, was it 8-9 months ago?
So we opened in February, so however long ago that was.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Like a while ago now. Yeah. We opened in February. We were doing the build from like December, January, getting all the mats down, getting the sprung floor done, just kind of giving the place a bit of a spruce. Opened in February, and it's been going from strength to strength ever since.
Do you find that that's put more pressure on your jiu-jitsu to improve at a quicker rate? Now you're a gym owner. Do you feel like there's a lot more kind of expected of you?
I think the pressure it's put on me is that I put on myself is to do good jiu-jitsu against people. I don't want to be that instructor that just like smashes people. And look how good I am and all that sort of stuff. I'd rather beat people effortlessly than putting in any effort, because then they actually see the benefit of being technical at the sport rather than, well, my instructor just beats me up all the time. And yes, I do beat people up all the time, but I try and do it as effortlessly and as smugly as possible.
Arrogance throughout, and I love it. It's brilliant. I asked you this when we first attempted this interview before we had sound issues. How do you keep yourself motivated to train? You know, you're in your 40s, you've been training for 17, 18 years. What have you got to say to yourself to keep going?
I think I said it the last time, and it was just, I live for this shit and I don't want to do anything else. And that's what I said, and I mean it every single day I come and train. I don't need competition to train. I don't need wanting to get better to train. I just enjoy training, be it teaching, be it training myself, be it smashing up Hayley, smashing up my other friends and things like that. I enjoy it, and getting beaten up as well. I love every aspect of this martial art and what we do.
Fantastic. That's the perfect answer. And I wanted to get you to say that again like you did last time. So it's brilliant. So Hayley, you are a black belt. Well, you're a Roger Gracie black belt, obviously, like Dan. When did you get your black belt?
Nearly 2 years ago.
2 years ago, exciting stuff. And you recently competed on Polaris, which, if you don't know, is probably in Europe, it's one of the biggest competitions. It's it's on UFC Fight Pass.
It's a show. Yeah.
It's a show. Sorry, not a competition. You're right. Yeah. I saw the fight and it was brilliant. I think the main thing people struggle with competitions is nerves before it. I'm certainly the same. How are you preparing yourself psychologically? Physically, we kind of know the crack with training, but psychologically, how are you getting yourself ready to do such a massive show and not flap? Because I'm flapping just thinking about it.
I think you're always going to get nerves, and that's normal. You're stepping into something that's like unfamiliar. Although it does become familiar over time, the more you compete. But yeah, you're always going to get nerves. There's no stopping that. So you just have to feel comfortable with those feelings and know that it's completely normal to feel like that. Yeah.
And how you then, you're doing the walkout, you're on camera on UFC Fight Pass, you're about to do this walkout. What are you saying to yourself to like psych yourself up to get ready?
I just focus on the jiu-jitsu. I just focus on what I want to do in the match, what I've been working on in the gym. And to be honest, like, some people don't like being watched, but I quite enjoy being watched. I like to put on a show, and as long as it's entertaining, that's all I care about. So
Brilliant.
yeah, that bit doesn't bother me, but I know not everyone feels like that. But yeah, I just want to put on a good show and walk out there and enjoy it. Like, I think sometimes even when I'm like warming up and I think like, fucking hell, I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid to do jiu-jitsu and display my jiu-jitsu and like show my skills and what Dan has taught me, and I think it's cool. Yeah.
So during the match, whatever we'd call it on Polaris, you went a round down to a really good opponent. That minute rest in between the 5-minute rounds, what are you saying to yourself to be like, right, I've got to get back into it, I've got to go back and win this next round?
It didn't feel like a minute. After the first round, it just felt like 10 seconds. So there was not much that went through my mind. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember it.
And from a coach's perspective, what are you saying to your athlete now? Right, you're a round down.
I think when it comes to the between round moments, especially when it like they're a jiu-jitsu, like people, this whole match and fight thing, that was a war. Like from a grappling perspective, like Julia is awesome at throwing and things like that, and that was some of the things we were not planned for, but like we accepted was going to happen. But the biggest thing for me when it's the minute rest is literally rest. So I'm trying to get her, like I'm doing my up and down hands to try and simulate lungs opening and closing and stuff like that, just to get her to calm down, because there was nothing I'm going to say like you should do this is going to go into an athlete or a competitor's head at that moment in time. You just got to kind of reset them back to level, and then they kind of go out there and go again. Yes, there are technical things you could say, but I think that's more for like the longer fights that are like maybe 3, 4, 5 rounds, where you can make minor adjustments. But when it's like round 1, round 2, and like whilst round 1 she got thrown, she was able to kind of claw things back and kind of end up in a more dominant position. And it was one of those things where just keep going, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, I can't say wrestle her or do this or do that. It's just keep doing your jiu-jitsu, because I think everyone should be thinking about their jiu-jitsu, not the other person's, and not what's going around those kind of scenarios. Just do you kind of thing. And that's, I think I really kind of latched onto that at Enyo, the last Enyo that Hayley did, and I just wanted her, out of all the things she's worrying about, like what gi colour should I wear? Like, do I need the toilet now? I could see her flapping, because everyone does, because it's like, what do I do? We kind of procrastinate, or just make a decision, do this. And it was a case of stop thinking, just be you, because the thing I see people make the biggest mistake of is they see how good they are in the gym, but like if you've been doing jiu-jitsu for 6 months to a year, you can walk down a general high street and beat most people up. You wouldn't, because you're obviously going to be not a dick, but that's where you react to those situations correctly. So just kind of have kind of faith in that, and that's where I kind of was with her. Just get her to reset and go out there again, and not hopefully come out for the overtime breathing out of her arse.
Well, for those who don't know, that's exactly what happened. Hayley wins the second round, and then Hayley didn't think she'd won the second round, and it goes to overtime. In between, you didn't expect that, so now you've got another minute rest. We're blowing at this point. Yeah.
And again, that minute rest felt non-existent. I thought I was done. I wasn't ready to go again. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. And yeah, it took me a while to get going into the round. I got thrown again, managed to get out. I think I got on top, can't remember. Yeah, that 3 minutes was really hard.
A cheeky, yeah. Well, it's sudden death, effectively, isn't it?
Yeah.
To win or lose, yeah.
But that's the thing though. Like, I think having coached been a training partner for all these years and seeing other people, a lot of people break in those kind of moments, and they go, "Oh my God," and you see them in the nicest way possible, kind of give up.
They wilt
and like
under the pressure.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Like I've driven 4 hours to a competition and been choked out in 14 seconds and been in the choke going, well, I'm just going to go out because I don't deserve to be alive. But I noticed this very much so in the Quattrolinius fight before Polaris, is even though it was submission only, there were points for mount and back mount, like even with 5 seconds to go, she still was able to go through her throw and do something and grind through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're going to be okay. And I had massive confidence going into Polaris. Not that the result was never like, oh, she's definitely going to win or any of that kind of stuff, because who knows that it doesn't matter, right? But I knew she would grind out and keep going no matter what. And every time she was thrown, the crowd go, woo. I knew she was staying tight, and I knew she was going to escape and either get back to a positive guard position or be able to get on top, and that's what happened.
I get thrown by Caroline and you all the time, and
it's not abnormal.
that is way worse than getting thrown by
yellow belt in
anybody
judo.
else.
Caroline is an ex-Team GB judo athlete, so she knows her shit. So if she's throwing you, you know about it, don't you?
Yeah.
I ask this question to everyone when I do one of these interviews. I'd like an answer from both of you. If you could go back to your younger self, or just you starting jiu-jitsu, what advice would you give to yourself coming into the sport, knowing what you know now?
Enjoy it more. Out of all, I think I do enjoy the training, but like the process of competing and getting ready for a competition, I'd make myself miserable because I thought that's the mindset you had to have. Like I'd be in some competition sessions, I'll be prowling around outside the gym, like, yeah, I'm rubbish, I'm gonna, and I was just miserable through the process. Whereas you shouldn't be, because if you approach things, oh my God, I nearly said happiness and joy. But if you approach things with happiness and joy, whatever happens, you're going to be fine. Whereas if you're all that, it's a mask you put on, right? This whole like people slapping themselves in the face, walking around,
headphones on,
around like this, and you're like, bro, your arm's like that big, like relax, you know. It's a mask, and it's for their insecurities. Where just be you, and it's just enjoy the process a bit more. Because I did this time, and for my own competition at the weekend, and I really enjoyed just getting ready for a competition for the first time in a long time. I'm going to be miserable.
Less miserable. What about yourself? What advice would you give to yourself if you could go back?
I agree, the same thing, but also things were different back then when we first started. Like competitions weren't like they are now. So in a way, I feel like I actually wouldn't change anything. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be.
Good.
Now. So,
It's good actually to have.
Yeah.
Forged in the fire of competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't have done all of that before. And I used to take it really seriously, the same, and not enjoy competing at all. But probably, I wouldn't have been on Polaris if I hadn't taken it so seriously back then. I don't know. So I wouldn't change anything.
You keep it all the same.
Yeah.
I like it. Maybe take some more steroids when you were younger. Get massive. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Cheers. My leg's gone dead.
Just stick it on my head like that.